Good morning, Norma Cowie here, and it is the 5th of November. Where is the time going? Today, I'm going to talk about light. And I was thinking earlier in the week, okay, Wednesday, what am I going to talk about? And again, in my head, it said, well, why don't you just talk about all the light and what you've experienced with that? So, as many of you know who watch, I look at my little guide box and sight cards, and I thought, I've got to find something in the light just because, it's always nice to have this. Although I realized when I was rewatching something, when I put a card up like this, it doesn't come through because it reverts everything anyway. So I won't do that again unless I turn it up. So I don't know. It just upset me what I saw. Anyway, I did find one. I usually don't have to look. I just usually have to cut and there it is, what I'm looking for. But I had to kind of sort through today. And I finally found one with a candle on it. And it says, I am a candle lighting many candles, lighting many candles. Meaning, whatever you're distributing in the sense of yourself as a light, that it ignites. And I can remember speaking to large crowds sometimes and, just saying a few words here and there and being aware of what was going on. But what I really wanted to talk about was some of the experiences I had working with light very early, and I still use it without being very conscious of it. The first thing I was introduced to was white light. And I was taught to surround yourself, the kids, the cars, and the house with white light as a protector. And for many years, I've done that. And every now and again, you forget. It's like life, you forget. And it's so interesting to see what happens when you forget. Now, often what I also did within the imagination of the white light, I would put a thought in there as well. So when I used to, I had two kids, my husband, myself. And so I would go to bed and I would imagine each one of us surrounded by white light, the house surrounded by white light, and the cars surrounded by white light. I taught my kids that quite early, actually, but I'm not sure if they still use that at all. So I had a lot to do with, in the sense of recognizing that light you can put instruction into it, how you perceive. Now, for myself, as you might say, my learning, my experimenting went on, I became very much a person utilizing gold light for things. And then in doing my past life regressions, I used starlight as a focus point for people. So, like, again, it's kind of like in the darkened room, you put a candle on, and that's when people have seances and things like that, because they do. Many people have that. I've not done a lot of that. So, but it's like they'll create an environment and they'll have a candle lit. And in the sense that the light, which is usually white light, kind of goldy light, which candles put out, give a sense of what they call protection to. And also, if you have somebody who's leading a circle of any kind, they know mentally what to do and how to do it as well. And so anyway, as I got older, I found I was very comfortable with working with a gold light, but I still use white light. I've had a couple of incidences where I live. I have a small patio, and I used to keep things out there because my apartment isn't that big. And twice now, I've had things stolen out of that. And one of them was all my Christmas decorations in a box, and we had it covered up with a top. They took the top as well. And I've had some other things stolen from there. So I began to think about I don't have things stolen. What's going on? And then I realized I hadn't put up my protective barrier. I hadn't encased my patio with white light. I had not put the instructions that everything, like only good thoughts come in, everything else is basically repelled. Because the thought you put in the light is really what's important too. The white light is the carrier, or if you're going to use gold light, I do a lot when I do healings and stuff. I tend to use a lot of gold light, but sometimes you need another color. It's amazing. I mean, a lot of people love purple or violet or what, all those. So it's not that you, I think, hang on, let me just rephrase that beginning of that sentence. It's what you work with. But I do know that forever, the whiteness of light with this thought involved in it aids and helps. So I now do not only my whole place, but my patio. I'm tired, except I did have something moved from it not too long ago. Like, what is it about my apartment? We don't have many people come down the way I live. Like, I'm on the back side of an apartment, so there's not that much. Although I'm ground level, there's not that many people. How come all of a sudden they want something of mine? Anyway, I did. I looked. Where's my little? I had a Maori from New Zealand carving that sat on a cord, and I had it hitched on the corner there, kind of, which often they did because it's like a guardian. Somebody took it. So anyhow, they are, and I just put the thought out that you obviously need it more than I do. But it sounds, how do I was going to say huggy, but it's not. It has been proven over and over again for people who operate with different lights, different colors, different awarenesses. But the thing is to put the thought into the light. And that's what a lot of people miss. They imagine the color around, fine, but they don't put the thought of what you want it to do. It's like it's magic. Yeah, it has magic in it. So I began, as I said, learning about white light very early in my tarot study. I guess my teacher must have brought it up. And at one time, that was the only thing was really taught. I didn't run into gold light until I myself ran into it. When I began to go inside and find the love source, when I went and began to do that, I began to realize that I worked better with a golden light, which has that little bit more. Oh, I like, today that's why I have my shirt on, even though this crazy color doesn't sit right. But that's life too. Things don't always sit right. So it's like gold. I've always liked gold. And so I began to work a lot more with that in some respects. But always, when you have the color and you imagine and awareness, you put the thought in of what you wanting. Color, yes, it can have, but it needs a thought. It needs to have life, and the life is the thought. And so, therefore, the thought will bring about what it is that we want. But you see, like all things, it has to be revised, and that's when I realized I have a place of several things on my little divider. And when I realized that my little mask thing had gone, I went, oh, I'd I'd colored it, but not the thought. So what is it you want? You don't want something you want something protected, or you want something safe. You need to put that in there. And sometimes you need to go as far as like people don't notice that. And I call it my invisibility spell. It's not real. I mean, it sounds witchy, but I'm not. But it's like you don't want your car going down the road with an invisible spell. I'll tell you that, because you get plowed. But what you can do is cover your car totally in white light, knowing that it's safe. You're going to get to where you want to go. When I'm doing a long journey in particular, I will always stop. And when I first get in the car, because I know I'm going to be traveling, doesn't happen as much these days, but when I used to travel all the time, and then I just put a thought of thanks for getting me to where I was going safely, and everything was fine, and put my white light around the car. The truck that I drove for a long time, because it was full of stuff. light, whatever color you use, takes the thought that you project into it and holds that for a certain length of time. Just realize that everything has a sort of an end date. And the realization of the many, and you can experiment. What's your favorite colors? Does it feel better when you use a different color? I've always only used white, mostly white for protectional elements, but also I use gold also at times when I, just because I like it. I like gold stuff much better. And it's just a preferred something, I guess. So remember that you are, like this little card says, that you are like a candle. You are putting out vibration all the time because you think. And if you're not aware of your thinking, which most of us aren't most of the time, become aware. Make sure the thoughts are what you want for yourself and others. Know that life is out there to support you, love you, care about you. But if you're having like anger, frustrating, I was going to say hateful thoughts, because it does happen to anybody else or any other situation, then look out, because things can ricochet back. And that's what a lot of people do not understand about thinking and thought. I know I go on about thought a lot, but it's so important, is that what you think goes out. It's like a radio wave. Everyone understands a radio wave, I think. Well, TV or whatever. The wave goes out. Now, what is it? Does it just disappear? But you're the radio. You're the one that's transmitting. And in the transmitting, you're the one that's going to be receiving. Now, we're all humans, and we all have our moments when we're angry or frustrated, and our thoughts tend to slip when we are like that way. And it's one thing that sometimes I used to think, do I even have feelings anymore? Because I'm just cruising along. But then you get mad about something. And I always find right away, what am I thinking? Am I being vindictive? Do I want, whatever? So it's, when I was younger, that's not happening. Sometimes when the kids were really being like, get your act together, guys. But it's like recognizing that you are a transmitter. And even though you may not intentionally have a light around it, when you are angry, let's face it, it's a dark, reddish, orangey looking color, if you were to see it in color. And the thoughts that are in there are fiery. So what are you asking for to come back? What are you putting out? How is it working? What is it doing? So you can heal with it. Like, it's like if people, when I used to do a lot of healing, they'd always see me do two things. I used to sort of rub my hands, but then I would, right in the palm here, you have a place. And I used to open them up by giving a little hand massage, quite strong in there, open up the portals for healing. Now, some people see that come out at the end of their fingers. I never did that. I could never see that. Mine was always about palms. And you can rub them. But again, it's like I used to do a lot of healing, take away headaches, take away pain in the body, take away all sorts of different things. But it's like knowing that you are like the candle. You are there burning away. That's the aging process, I guess. And it's like, is your light strong? Is it weak? Is it angry? Is it vindictive? Or is it just accepting and loving? If you're in any kind of spiritual growth pattern, it is to find that love energy and maintain it. And it's not, not saying it's always easy, because life has a way of walking in the front door or the back door or whatever. But what it is for you to understand, how you respond, is what's in the next turn back. Ever been to a fairground and been on a merry-go-round? What does that merry-go-round do? You go and you sit on the horse. Well, or sometimes they have things that are not necessarily horses that go up and down, but they just said you can sit. But what does the merry-go-round do? It goes around. And when you got a ticket, you may go around 2 times, 3 times, or 4 times. But you're going around. You come back. We always come back to center. Remember that. So no matter what happens, if your anger goes out or whatever, think about, okay, what light am I presenting? What are my thoughts in the light? You are a light. You are what would you call it? An energy vibrator. And as you sit there, just as a candle, you're giving off light. Is it white light, gold light, pink light, all loving? Or is it muddy? Is it angry? Is it resentful? Because what you put out, this is an old standby, what you put out comes back. May not right away, but down the turnpike it will. And that's the interesting thing, is why many people get up and pray every morning for whatever it is they want in the day. And to me, it's like, it's the thought, how you do that, how you create that, what you put out. In the other saying I lived with a long time, well, still there, what you put out comes back. Because we are a vibration. And like the candle, remember it says, I am a candle, lighting many candles, lighting many. So think of when you put if you have a big thing of water and you plunk a little stone in it, what happens? The vibration moves out, right? It ripples out to the end. Now, sometimes and then it is not done, it comes back. What I want you to realize is that your thoughts are like that you are light, you carry a vibration, and you vibrate to where it is. And if you're having a rough day, sometimes it's hard to hold the vibration because it's a rough day. Emotionally, you might be all over the place, or you're sad, or you're whatever. Everything lowers. So what comes in the lowering? That's the key. It's like opening the door to what you don't want. And sometimes we just don't recognize that. We don't recognize that we are the center of our world. We think everybody else is. But all we're doing is picking up their vibration. And some of us are sensitive. Some of us can walk into a room and feel. I had to teach myself not to do that. I had to stay centered within me and listen and be, and not just pick up the vibration. And I still do sometimes because I'm not thinking, and I go, oh. And when I was a kid, everything was personal. I took it all on. Didn't matter what it was. So it's like just a reminder, white light always. If you have something you want to protect, see it encased in the white light, and you can say things, only good things come to me, and everything else is released. You can do that around your person. If you're going into something you're not too sure of, just draw it. But draw it, I find, make sure your aura isn't too big. You maybe want, I'm just trying to think, what's that? 5, 6 inches, maybe 8. You don't want it too big because the auras go out and spill out and intermingle with everybody else. And if you're in a mall, you can, if you've ever walked through a busy mall, all of a sudden you don't feel well, it's because you've picked up somebody else's vibration. So you want to be fairly closed in to be contained so you can maintain the sense of who you are and not, reacting all over the place. But my little talk about protection sort of has moved into all sorts of things, and that's fine. That's how it works, because I never know. I don't have notes. I just knew that I was going to talk about the white light today and gold light. And as I said, when I'm doing past life regressions, I use starlight. That's what you use as a central point, a star. Light is healing. It's a vibration. It can be protection for the sense of your energy. And of course, it also can create havoc, but we don't want to encourage that. We want to encourage peace, love, tranquility, and ease. We want our life to go easily. And when it's not going easy, stop and take a look at your thoughts and where are you putting your emotions. And you've heard, for those of you that watch often, you've heard me talk about we're two parts. Our mind, in a way, is the driver, but our emotion, which is the feeling, we must have those two aligned. And very often they're not. And so it's by taking a moment and breathing into I call it the gut part of your body, not in your mind, but in your gut part, feel the energy. And then you put the thought in the energy, you can let it go. Don't come just from the head. That one you want to have connected to the emotional element. Well, I think I've come to the end of my light talk today. Thank you for Karen and Maggie G and Leroy for watching and with your supportive comments here. It really, really helps. Sometimes I feel like I'm talking to the wind, but you guys show up and it feels good. So lots of love, lots of light, lots of joy. I'm sending joy to you guys somehow. Oh, and Khalid is here as well too. I probably wouldn't be able to do all this without your support that you give me in the mornings when you come on and just say good morning, or, perfect for me today, on whatever it was talking about. I appreciate it. It makes it worthwhile. And anyway, go have a good day and do some experimenting. Just remember, light doesn't have to be close. It's out. It's going to be around your aura, around the car, around whatever that you want, and just see how it feels. What happens? Try different colors. I would try with the car and use the white light. That's the best part. Oh, bless your hearts. Thanks again, Karen. What today is Wednesday, so I'll be back on Sunday with a Sunday thought, and who knows this time what I'm going to pick up. Blessings, lots of love, and bye for now.